Last night I was testing some like the yarn package to deploy the contracts, and it was like not working. And I was like super scared of like having troubles today about it. So I hope like I think I fix it, but I hope it's we're not gonna have troubles. Like the yarn package to deploy the contracts, and it was like not working. And I was like super scared of like having.
Oh, shoot.
Bro, we can work on this after this too. I have a trick that I can show you that might help.
I think that might have been my speaker playing back.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought I was like, wait, you're telling the story again? I just heard. All right. Well, well, I can edit this out of the YouTube, but let me I'm gonna send the link in the Telegram, and then we've got some people in the waiting room. Gonna go ahead and admit all. Some, and it looks like we are good to go. And I've gone and tweeted out the link, or I will go ahead and tweet out the link, but welcome everybody. We can go ahead and get started right now. My name is Annalisa. I am with Bittlebox. I'm here with Abril, and I am also here with Gloria with Morph. We've got an awesome workshop lined up for you today. So I will go ahead and dish it off to the Morph team, and good luck everyone with the Sparkloom Hackathon.
Hi everyone, I'm Avril, and I'm very excited to see a lot of builders here and a lot of builders already signing up for, this hackathon. And yeah, looking forward to see what you all are building. And today we are gonna touch base on how to deploy your first smart contract with Hardhat on Morph. But also I'm gonna give a quick introduction of the architecture on Morph and what is Morph, and yeah. Should we go ahead? Okay, so I already present myself. I'm not gonna do it twice, but yeah, I'm the developer relations at Morph. So any questions that you have besides this meeting, let me know. Reach me out in my Twitter account or Discord. So we're gonna touch the agenda is like introduction to Morph, architecture overview, wallet setup, and bridge. I'm just gonna go very quickly on that. And how to deploy your smart contract, plus developer resources, and talk a little bit about the developer incentives that we have. So what is Morph? Morph is an Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution that basically harnessing the power of an optimistic zkEVM. Our vision is basically redefine the blockchain landscape with a clear focus on the consumer application. We are prioritizing consumer-centric innovation, like one of our tracks, transparency and trust, and collaborative ecosystem. And Morph is made up of three main modules. Basically, the decentralized sequencer network, which is responsible for both consensus and execution of smart contract operations. The optimistic zkEVM, responsible for state verification. And then we have the rollup contract and bridge, which is responsible for data availability through a rollup process. And now let's dive a little deeper into sequencers. Sequencers are responsible for producing new blocks in L2s. Think about a block like a page in a ledger book, but for digital transactions. To join this group, participants need to put down some ETH as a kind of promise. And this is done through a staking contract. Then they go through an election to become a sequencer. It's a way to make sure that only serious and committed participants get to do the job. And once they're part of the sequencer set, Their main task is to take transactions that haven't been confirmed yet and put them into blocks. Then they work together to check and agree that everything in those blocks is correct. And then they use a method called tendermint consensus for this agreement, basically. And it's like a very straightforward way for all sequencers to basically make sure that they are all seeing the same transactions in the same order. It helps keep the network secure and running smoothly. After they agree on the transactions, these are then officially recorded onto the blockchain. And this process helps the network handle a lot of transactions quickly. So here is the basic explanation of this complex diagram. Now let's explore blockchain network, how blockchain network managed to process transactions. This involves a smart technique called batching, using something known as a batch submitter. Normally, each block of transactions will be sent to the main blockchain, basically layer one at a time. And this can be pretty slow and expensive. And, to solve this, sequencers like those special participants that we talk about use a clever workaround. They group several blocks of transactions together into what we call a batch, basically. And here's how it works. At certain points in time, called checkpoints, sequencers take all of these blocks they've gathered and sign them off together using a digital signature. This signature is basically a way to ensure that all the transactions in the batch are valid and agreed upon. They use a specific type of signature called BLS signatures for this purpose. Once the batch is signed, it's not sent to just any part of the blockchain, but it goes to a special part of the main blockchain, basically, through something known as a rollup smart contract. This is like a gatekeeper that checks and processes all the batches, basically. The layer one contract combine the signature for the whole batch, proving that everything is legit. And the actual transactions in the batch and the final state of those transactions as agreed upon by the consensus, basically. Then the layer one contract, upon receiving this, checks the submitted signature to make sure that it matched the transactions. And this step is pretty important, I will say, because it will confirm everything is in order and agree with the consensus. And in fact, by signing off on a batch of transactions and sending them through the rollup smart contract, the blockchain network can handle transactions more smoothly and at lower cost, basically. Now let's talk about the last piece, the optimistic zkEVM. Layer 2 has basically two main methods that have been used. Basically, the fraud proofs and validity proofs. Each has, I would say, some benefits, but also some limitations. Fraud proofs are simpler and have basically lower security needs. But however, up to now, there's been a challenge in making them fully open for anyone to participate in verifying transactions and not requiring a permission, basically. So imagine a system where only certain people can ask questions or raise concerns. It's not really ideal for transparency, right? And validity proofs, on the other hand, are like the high security vaults of verification methods. They're very secure, but it comes with a downside, I would say, which I think they require a lot of computing power to generate and can really slow things down and make them really expensive. And here is where Morph introduces something pretty essential, which is a method called responsive validity proof. Morph takes a unique approach by combining basically the best of both worlds. Normally, generating these high security checks or zk proofs for every transaction will be too demanding. But Morph does something very transparent and clever, which is only generates these proofs if there's a challenge to the validity of a transaction, basically. You can see the diagram now. And with Morph, basically anyone can run a validator node, meaning anyone can help verify transactions. But during the early stages, I will say only selected validators can challenge the transaction. And this is basically to ensure that the system runs smoothly. Once everything is fully tested and stable, it will open up so anyone can challenge transactions, making it more democratic, basically. So validators will need to constantly verify the transactions and new state sequencers submitted to the layer 1. If they find the transactions and states are not correct, they will initiate the challenge. And sequencers will need to answer the challenge by providing zk proof and pass verification. So if a sequencer can't really finish the verification process during a certain period, the fraud behavior is settled. And validators will need to stake in order to initiate a challenge, basically. So let's move to the testnet start. So now I will show a little bit how, okay, so to start with the wallet, here's like a pretty straightforward documentation. You need to install MetaMask. If you already have installed it, it's okay. And then you can use one of these links to get basically Sepolia ETH for test. Because if we want to deploy our contract, we first need to do all of this. So I've already got some, but it's pretty straightforward. You just need to get your address here, and you can just like request some of the ETH Sepolia. And the bridge will move forward to the bridge. You will need to deposit from the Sepolia testnet to the Morph testnet some ETH. I already set up this because it's pretty slow. It actually took me a lot of time, like 20 minutes to receive the deposit. So I was like, I don't want to be like for 20 minutes doing this, but it's pretty straightforward. Like you see here, you move from like Sepolia to Morph testnet and you deposit. So we will start deploying our contract. You will need to clone this repo, which is Morph examples. We are already starting to build a bunch of examples, but what we will use today is basically the contract deployment demo. And I will use Hardhat in this case, but you have the docs for Foundry as well. And I think I will make a video soon for Foundry. But we will move forward with Hardhat. So go clone the repo, which is pretty straightforward as well. So I will stop sharing to share my Visual Studio Code. I will share again. Share screen. I think now I'm sharing everything. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I've already got some Sepolia ETH, and here is the documentation. You need to clone, and then we'll move forward with this. You need to install Node.js and Yarn. And you will find that we have a .env example here, which is an example to create basically the actual .env file, and we will copy paste this, and we will need to import our private key and our address, that the contract that we want to deploy. So what we can do is go here and go to account details and import our private key. Please don't share your private key with anyone. I'm just sharing because it's a test. So we will put our private key here. This is our Morph testnet URL. And we will also copy this here and go to the Hardhat config and paste the link here. But first of all, you need to also install the package. So I will do yarn install. I'm more used to use npm, so I had troubles last night using yarn. I don't know why, so thank God I fixed it. So we wait for being installed. Can take a while. Okay, so now we will move forward with so basically we already copy paste our private key. We imported this in our env file. I will just copy this too. So now we will do yarn compile. There's a private key too short. Okay. Something's happening. This is weird because it's importing env. Morph testnet URL should be good. Okay, but Morph testnet private key to short. This is weird, actually. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I copied the address, not the private key. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, we will fix this. So it's not our address, it's our private key. We'll put it here. And then now it should work. Yarn compile. Okay, perfect. Then we will need to do yarn deploy morph testnet to deploy basically the contract on the morph Sepolia testnet. We'll wait a little bit. Done. Okay, perfect. It's already deployed. So now we will just do yarn test. And everything is working as you see now. This example contract in Solidity is already deployed and everything is running well. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. I hope you guys have clarified how to deploy the smart contract on Hardhat. As I said, I will do this for Foundry as well. But yeah, I hope you guys get everything that I've talked about the architecture, everything. We will be releasing more videos though, specifically talking about different parts of the architecture, like responsibility proofs. I already have a video talking about the centralized sequencer network in detail. And yeah, now I will share the developer incentives that we have for you guys. Let me share screen again in the slides.
And just a reminder, as while you're looking at the developer incentives, is that if you all have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we're monitoring the questions on both YouTube and here on Zoom. So if you have questions for Bill, you can drop them there, or you can meet her, DM her, or meet us on Discord too.
Okay, so this is the developer incentives that we have for you guys. Basically, we are doing a hackathon boost. As you see, as you're like participating on this hackathon, we are offering 20,000 in prize pool to share. And we will have all the winners into an incubator program, which basically we will got plus then like 20 quality mentorship sessions, premium resources like across investors, top projects, centralized exchanges. Then we'll have financial incentives as well, like grants of like up to 100,000 USDT, and a share of 30% of the total Morph airdrops. But we will also support consistently, like we will do follow-up calls, investor connections, token listings, and a lot more for this program. Also, the DevRel team is always down to help you guys. We have office hours every Tuesday, except today, but every Tuesday starting next week, we will be there for you guys to respond any questions, talk about your projects, talk about what you're building, and yeah. That's all. Here is the QR code to the repo, to this repo Morph examples, for you guys to start deploying contracts and building on Morph. And yeah, that was all.
Awesome. And thank you, Abril. Are there any questions? Any questions from the audience, either on YouTube? You can go ahead and hit the chat. We'll give a couple moments for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's still some people that are getting admitted into the waiting room. And as a reminder, this will also be, you'll be able to access this workshop on YouTube. And as a reminder as well, another reminder, you'll be able to access this workshop on YouTube. But for those of you in the audience who are participating in the hackathon, and I'm hoping that's a majority of you all, I'm going to just show you real quick. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you are adding your challenges to your project. And 1 second, I'll share my screen real quick and I'll show you how to do that. You should be signed up for the hackathon by now. If you are not, then you can go ahead and go to app.biddlebox.io and sign up. And I am losing where the hackathon is. Let's get it back. Here we go. So if you've already created a project, you will need to go to your Biddler profile. You can select your project. And then up here on the top tab where it says challenges, you'll be able to select which challenges that you want to participate in. And then you can also remove them all the way up to your project submission. Another reminder, make sure if you are looking for team members, or if you're looking to join a team, you can go to the Morph Discord and you'll be able to access the Sparkloom Hackathon category. And there is a team formation channel in there. That's where you'll be able to find team members. But to add team members to your project, once you have found your team, the project owner will need to go to they'll need to go to the project page. You go to team, and then offline, I highly recommend that you're going to need to, well, I don't want to show everyone's email addresses, but offline, you'll be able to add by their email address. So then your team members will receive an invite. And that's all I've got on my end. Any questions for Abril? Cool. Let me just double check YouTube and see if we have anything. Okay, wait, we do have a question coming in. If we deploy the smart contract to Morph testnet, how is Morph better than Sepolia testnet in gas fees? Morph is built on Sepolia, or Morph is new blockchain?
No, Morph is a blockchain. It's not built upon Sepolia. Yeah. We're just in testnet using Sepolia. But I think with the new integration, actually, the Denkun upgrade, L2's become really cheap in terms of gas fee. So I think we should celebrate. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And then it looks like, I'm not sure what time this question came in, but this was on YouTube. How to add hard hat will give instructions on each challenge on how to complete. I think you're going over a hard hat in a different video. Is that correct?
No, Harad is the one we use. What did he ask?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's just said how to add hard hat. And I'm not sure about, I don't understand the second question, but I think how to add it. If we went over that in this workshop, then you'll be able to play back the workshop. Great.
Yeah. I will do the Foundry one in a video, probably. I will do like both videos to just have something more set up. But I think I chose hard hat because I personally use it more. And yeah, anything you can just read the docs. I think it's pretty straightforward. We're going over the step by step how to deploy it with each tool. So
Awesome. Any other questions? Feel free to go ahead and join the Morph Discord server. And like Avril said, she will be holding office hours every Tuesdays at the same exact time, so 9 a.m. Pacific. And what else? We do have 2 more workshops happening this week. So be sure to tune in for tomorrow's workshop that will be happening on Wednesday. And that one is going to be full stack development on Morph, build a Web3 Venmo. So that's exciting.
yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
One more ask I have, Annalisa, just if you will quick show everyone where on the Discord they can drop their projects and ask for teammates on team builders. That might just be helpful for those who are still looking for teams.
Oh, absolutely. Let me go ahead and share
Yeah,
screen.
but even if you're a solo hacker, you can go ahead and build.
Yes, please. Yeah. Okay, so I'm in the Morph Discord server. You might need to add the channels. I think you can go to channels and roles, browse channels, and make sure that the Sparkloom Hackathon category, that you're following the Sparkloom Hackathon category, all of the channels there. And over, not hackathon memes, but team building. There is some team building happening right now, but Gloria did pin message going over the template, but you can either express that you are looking for a team member or looking to join a team, and you can, all that will be happening excuse me, on the team building channel on Discord. Sweet. Does that cover it all? Cool.
I think there's one more question, it looks like, from Anouk. And it says, in Morph, any changes in smart
I
contract?
got that one.
Oh, did you get that one? The second one?
Oh, no. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. In smart contract contraction, or only we use Morph network like any other network, like only deploy and interact with smart contract.
I don't get the question. If we can only deploy and interact with smart contracts.
Manok, do you want to clarify it for us? Let's give them a moment to write their question. And while Manok is rewriting their question, I just also want to remind everyone that tomorrow there's going to be another workshop with Rahat, who's also on our DevRel team. Tomorrow's workshop, I think it's when he starts to show you a sample dApp, he's going to go over full stack development on Morph and build a Web3 Venmo. So you can start to play around here, and then maybe also bring your questions to Rahat tomorrow during that workshop, because I'm sure he'll go even deeper, which might be helpful there too. So, Manok, were you able to rephrase your question, or do you want to come off mute and ask your question?
Oh, if we have other features in Morph, yeah, we have other features in Morph. Not only smart contract deployment of smart contracts. Yeah, I think that was a question.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Maybe Renaud, what I would do is probably like drop the, if you want, if that doesn't satisfy your question, drop it in our Discord in the chat, and then we can have
Yeah.
okay, yes, okay, perfect, great, perfect. Yeah, drop it there, and then at least we can have other people can see your question and respond to it, but also our DevRel team can respond to it at any time as well. So don't
But
feel like
also, I will recommend taking a look at the docs. I think we have really good docs where we explain how Morph works, like everything that I explained, but deeper. How to build on Morph and how to get the wallet set up. Everything is really straightforward. So, oh yeah, you just.
yeah, no worries.
YouTube too.
Is any other dApps coming on more for more interactions?
Yeah, I mean, we are integrating a lot of, we're working on that. That's why the DevRel team is having a lot of, we're building a lot of resources and stuff because we're trying to integrate more dApps in our network since we launched testnet like a couple of months ago. So yeah, stay tuned.
But this is also your opportunity to get into an ecosystem pretty early. So I know our Morph ecosystem, our great ecosystem has like, something like 80,000 people that are really excited to see what's being built on Morph currently. So if you want to get your project into an early ecosystem that's really well supported with grants and token allocations and things like that, this is a good opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I think joining early is the best that you can do if you're building a native app or native protocol consumer app. I'm really excited to see what you guys are building. We suggested a couple of things, but we are also looking for something that really surprised us. Since this ecosystem is giant, a lot of opportunities to build on. So yeah.
All right. It looks like last call for questions. Okay. Sounds good. Well, any additional questions, go ahead and hit up the Morph Discord that is linked on the hackathon landing page, or you could go to morphl2.io and you'll be able to access all important links to get you started on Morph. And we'll see everybody tomorrow at the same time. That's 9 a.m. Pacific. I believe that is 4 p.m. UTC. And thank you so much, Avril. Thank you so much, Gloria. We'll see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you.
Great talking, everybody. See you tomorrow.